Hey, how's it going, guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toasty Bros, and today we have a $1,200 i7 9th Gen gaming PC.
This is a Microcenter sponsored PC build, mainly because they have some really awesome deals right now on the 9700K and 9900K. If you do have access to a Microcenter near you, we highly suggest you go check it out. Jackson actually went in store, picked out all these PC parts. Here's some footage on screen to show the experience he had. Those guys are really awesome there, and we were able to get some really good parts for the money.
So obviously I drove 2 hours just to go to Microcenter because honestly I just love the atmosphere and going there and just being able to talk to the employees and have them help me out to get parts and everything. Also, they're running a deal right now where you can get a 32 gig flash drive and a 32 gig SD card just for going there in person for free. No purchase necessary, which you'll probably end up walking out with some stuff like this anyways, but highly recommend going in store if you can.
So thanks again to Microcenter for sponsoring this PC build. How about we go ahead and talk about each individual part and how it makes up this $1,200 gaming PC.
So this right here is the i7 9700K, which we honestly do not have a lot of experience with, and we have a liquid cool to go with it that we'll talk about in a minute. So we're going to be overclocking this processor, but what's really cool about this is a true 8-core processor, no hyper-threading, just no BS. This is just a really strong physical 8 cores. So for gaming, this thing is honestly a really good processor, and the best part, Microcenter has these for $199 and the 9900K for about $299 right now. So make sure you try to get them before they're sold out. So obviously 9th Gen is getting ready to be 2 generations behind, and it does not support on the new motherboards. So, you know, some of you might be thinking this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Well, for the price, trust me, this actually makes a lot of sense. And for the cooler, we have a 240mm Master Liquid ML240L RGB. So RGB liquid cooler, we have RGB on the block, RGB fans to go inside of this nice RGB case. It's 240mm and it's gonna be more than enough than we need to be able to do some nice overclocks and everything. And honestly, this thing I think came in around 80 bucks, which is a really good price for a 240mm. And since we're doing overclocking, we decided to go with the Asus Prime Z390A. So this is a full-size motherboard. It has RGB all over the place, and we just wanted to go Z390 because we're gonna be doing overclocking when we wanted something safe. If you wanna save some money though, you could get a little bit of a lower end processor and get a board that's, you know, half this price, because this board was almost 180, but it's a really good looking board, really good capacitors and everything, and heat sinks, so you don't have to worry about anything blowing up. And for RAM, as always now, the standard 16 gigs DDR4, 3200 megahertz, 3200 just because of the fact that, well, you know, Intel 3600, they don't mix together. So we just got some nice looking RGB, basically just the cheapest RGB stuff that Microcenter had on hand. I believe it was about $81.99 or even $79.99. So I mean, honestly, just really good dependable RAM that can overclock well, and it's RGB, which everything this build's gonna be. And then for storage, we decided, because Warzone and games like that are just so big, 1 terabyte of M.2 NVMe storage. This is an Inland Platinum drive, and this thing can get from Microcenter for under $100, which is crazy for the speeds that you get with this NVMe storage. So pretty exciting that we're able to slap this in there for under $100.
Now for the graphics card. This is a card we've used numerous times here on the channel. This is the Gigabyte Radeon 5700 XT. We're kind of in an awkward phase right now of graphics cards with a bunch of new ones coming into the market, and that means there's some inventory issues on older RTX cards, but there is a lot of inventory of the 5700 XT, and that is a good thing because this is a really awesome card for 1080p, high refresh rate gaming, 1440p if you want to, and it comes in at a really awesome price point. We opted for the Gigabyte 3-fan version because for just a little bit more you get 3 fans and that reliability that Gigabyte comes to offer, but Microcenter does have a lot of different models that are slightly cheaper if you're interested in that. And for the power supply, we have the EVGA 650BQ, which is a 650 watt, 80 plus bronze semi-modular power supply. Now this does come with some very nice black cables, which is what you expect in a high-end build, and it's an EVGA power supply. They are really reliable units that we've used in numerous PC builds, and we highly suggest them for pretty much any build that you're doing. And lastly, for the case, we are using the legendary Lian Li Landcool 2. Now this case is known for its awesome build quality, but it also comes with this diffused RGB LED strip, which we're gonna show you how that works real quick. All you have to do is drop down this very convenient basement panel here and open up the side panel. Everything is magnetic, which is really awesome. And what happens here is you install this LED strip in between this crack right where this little side panel goes up, and it gives a diffused LED look through the tempered glass, which is nice to have as well. So it's kind of a different take on RGB, but we're very excited to showcase it in this build. And there's also some nice RGB in the front of this case as well. I'm very excited to build in it. I've seen a lot of people building this case, and we have not had the chance to do so, so very excited. And it does come in at a really awesome price point, around $85, depending on the discounts that you may get when you go to your local Microcenter, which you should do. And well, we should build this PC now, so we're gonna get to it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have this PC all put together, let's talk about some benchmarks real quick. Now, we decided to test this PC in a couple of titles, those being Fortnite, Modern Warfare, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Wolfenstein Youngblood, and Valorant. First up in Fortnite, it goes to show how great this PC is for a game like Fortnite. With its high clock speeds up to 4.9 GHz with a little bit of an overclock tuned in, we had no problems getting over 144 FPS, sometimes into the 200s. The 9700K is on a platform that really doesn't have much of an upgrade path, but that doesn't mean it's not a great CPU, and coming in at $200, it pretty much smacks the floor with pretty much anything else that's out right now. So the 9700K deal at Microcenter is really worth it for that reason. In games like Fortnite, you're going to be able to play Fortnite with no issues whatsoever for the foreseeable future, and be able to play on potentially 240Hz monitors with even better GPUs if you wanted to. The same goes in games like Modern Warfare, getting well over 100 FPS on medium-high settings, which is kind of like the optimized settings for Warzone. Again, this is a great combo. I absolutely love how well the 5700 XT and the 9700K pairs. If for some reason you could pick up an NVIDIA GPU, which right now the availability of NVIDIA GPUs with the new launch coming is, well, kind of sparse. You probably will be looking at like an RTX 2070 or 2070 Super, or a 3070 if you manage to get your hands on one, and you could have a really good gaming PC for around the same price. Next up is Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and this is our AAA benchmark of choice, and this shows how well the 5700 XT can perform in most games. You would have no problem playing games at 1440p with this configuration if you wanted to, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider shows that with getting really good results. The next game we tested was Wolfenstein Youngblood, and that's another AAA title that we decided to test, and well, we got really good results as well, getting well over 100 plus FPS. Wolfenstein Youngblood is another game we like to add to our rotation just to try to, well, add some extra value for you guys in terms of testing games that are AAA titles, and I was really happy with how this system performed in Wolfenstein Youngblood. You could easily run this at 1440p and get really good results considering how well the results were at 1080p. And the last game we decided to test was Valorant, which on pretty much max settings we got close to 240 FPS. This is a perfect PC for Valorant, which Valorant isn't that hard of a game to run, so I'm not that surprised, but it really just wraps up this entire benchmark run really well. Is the 9700K a great CPU? It really is for gaming. It is just an 8-core CPU, so in terms of multitasking, it might be limited compared to something like the 9900K or on Team Red, the 3700X, or future release of the 5700X. But right now, for $200 at Microcenter, it's a really awesome deal, and I was very happy that we had the chance to do a PC build with it because we never got the opportunity to do so when it was out, and now that it is out and it has a really good discount through Microcenter, it makes a really good option if you're looking to get a gaming PC on a budget. So that pretty much wraps up the benchmarking section of today's video. How about we go ahead and bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick.
So as you guys could tell, having 8 cores at 4.9 GHz, well, it really works well in gaming. The 9700K, while be it's on a motherboard that you really don't have a ton of upgradability, is still an awesome gaming processor. And again, this Microcenter deal with it being at $200 is insane. If you have access to a Microcenter, we highly suggest you consider this deal or the 9900K, which will give you that 8 cores and 16 threads with a slightly higher clock speed. So you could consider that one as well at $299. Both those are great deals, and they do compete very well with what AMD has on the market right now. We were also really excited to finally get to build inside of this Land Cool 2 case because, you know, so be it that it has glass in the front and back. We honestly were a little bit not excited about that at first, but once we figured out how easy the cable management is in the back, because of those little cable hiding access panels, it made it to where the back of this thing looks so clean that you can't even tell there's any cables there, which honestly just makes the case that much cooler. It's all magnetic to open it. You can get both of the power supply and the hard drive cage just by pulling these guys right here down, which is really easy. The LED strip was really easy to add, which is pretty cool. It's literally just adhesive in the front. It plugs right in. All of it is controlled by a little button up there, which, you know, we love button controls. So overall, just really happy with this case for the price. And overall, this build is really awesome for the money. If you are interested in picking this PC up, any of those parts, link in the description down below. Do keep in mind, we will include Amazon links, but you're not gonna get that same 9700K deal. So if you really want the best value you're getting here, definitely go to a Microcenter. But overall, very happy with this build. Links down below, affiliate links, help us out. Thanks again to Microcenter for making this video possible. And yeah, let's send this video home. So if you haven't already, don't forget to check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros, where, by the way, November 13th, and I don't even know when this video is going live, could be before or after, but we're gonna be doing another giveaway, and it's actually gonna be a $1,200 gaming PC. Not this one specifically, but an even better one. So on that note, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. So cool.
So excellently said.